The Quantum Man by the Silicon Lemming. Jonathan Felix sat back in the chair after affixing the final electrodes to his skull. He is currently reclined in one of the most expensive private scientific investments in the world, and today was the fruition of his, and many others, efforts. The aim of the project was to open the human being's mind and allow them to perceive one of the spatial dimensions above the mediocre three. The actual result was still a point of contestation, but it was suspected that the individual would be able to study all possible universes that would be created from his actions, and then choose one that he wished to follow, a man whose every action would be perfect, as he had already witnessed the results. Felix had jumped at this opportunity because he was young and headstrong, and in his early 20s, and brilliant in the field of quantum mechanics. He was relishing the opportunity to apply the usual theoretical aspects of his craft to a physical medium. He gave the final thumbs up and to the text behind the safety glass, and they activated the first stages of the machine. A microphone in the room relayed his words as the process started. I have seen farther than others. If I have seen farther than others, it is because I have stood on the shoulders of giants. Imitation was the greatest form of flattery, he thought with a grin. The chair reclined back until it became a flat table, and a large rotating dome lowered down to encompass his entire body. Within the dome, there was a complex crystalline structure lining the inside. He focused on the facets of the crystals. He noticed that they had started to morph, shifting in ways his mind just could not understand. He started to feel lightheaded and dizzy. This sight was suddenly filled with the explosions of light, and his body started to spasm. Reading his health signs in the control room, the engineers instantly halted the operation. A medic ran in and checked the vitals of Felix, and was pleased to find a weak yet constant heartbeat. Felix opened his eyes a couple of minutes later. He looked up at the doctor and suddenly jerked up as he realized where he was. What happened? I don't feel any different. The doctor smiled with a pat and patted him on the shoulder. Any landing you can walk away from, right? The doctor turned to walk away, caught his ankle on a restraining cable, tripped forward, and cracked his forehead against the corner of the table. His head twisted to a sickening angle. Reset. The doctor turned to walk away, caught his ankle on a trailing cable, tripped forward, and was grabbed from behind by Felix as he threw himself out of the chair, stopping him inches from the table corner. Felix collapsed and threw up. His hands shaking, he realized that he had just perceived two universes and had actively chosen the one he wanted. He smiled at the doctor. I did it. I can see them. I can see them all. Felix's smile faded. He now saw two new universes, both the same as far as he was aware. Suddenly, a third, a fourth, a fifth, blossomed in his mind. He could suddenly see all the possibilities that he was capable of, and some he did not wish to see. His mind began to fracture. Felix grabbed the medic, and in an act of unnatural rage, plunged his thumbs into the poor attendant's eyes. Reset. Felix looked despairingly into the eyes of the medic and started to scream, refusing to stop even when bubbles of blood foamed around the corners of his mouth. Reset. Felix grabbed the table leg and forcefully headbutted the corner, only achieving his goal of shattering his skull on the fourth strike. Reset. Felix sat on the floor, experiencing all potential evil that he was physically capable of. His body shook as he was racked to sobs of horror. He grabbed the collar of the medic and drew them face to face. Too far. Too far! He screamed. His eyes blurred for a second and then started to turn yellow and shriveled. At the same moment, his hair changed to the purest white. Felix, in his final moments, became aware of the magnitude of universes bearing down on him. He would have to live through every single one. His grip slipped. His mind was lost to the abyss. Reset. This was The Quantum Man by the Silicon Lemming. Hello, my beautiful nightmare seekers. I am Sirrmo B, your narrator of your innermost fears. Spiders, bitch. This story is not a random one that I found somewhere on the site. This one I actually searched. Why? Because I wanted to do this story. Because The Quantum Man is my favorite creepypasta. I know narrators aren't actually supposed to have a favorite one, but this is mine. I love the idea of the possibility of seeing every possible universe, every possible outcome, and the realization that it can turn someone mad to be omnipotent. Quite honestly, the breaking of the mind kind of feels like myself when I sometimes have a private episode. And it makes me feel, well, not good, but like someone out there at least understands the pain that goes on in your mind when you're thinking so hard, racking your brain, breaking your own sanity for absolutely no reason. So, as you now have heard my opinion, I would like to hear all of your opinions. Please like, comment, subscribe, and again, I want your opinions. Please do tell me in the comments what you did think of this creepypasta and if you liked it enough to say, yes, that was pretty good. I will like that and I will recommend it to my friends. And as always, good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bedbugs bite. Neither monsters. Monsters are bad too. And enjoy the madness. My apologies, it is fucking late, and I am really fucking tired. Good night.